Come on now. I don't want to bore you with my trouble. That's the right word?
Yeah.
There's something about your love that makes me weak and knocks me off my feet. Girl, come on now. Hey everybody, what up though?
What up though? How y'all doing today?
Thank you for stopping by too. Clink, clink. We are your hosts.
I am Cam, and this is
I'm Kay. Hey. We thank you for stopping by. We want to say what up though to our new people, our new subscribers. We get nice little about 16 new subscribers.
Hi, and thank you for
subscribing. We are so grateful.
And like tell your friends so they can tell their friends so we can all be friends. Friends?
Okay.
Yo, best friend. Okay, but you will get into that later because you will be able to tell in a little while that we are two creatives that love to sing, dance, and do all things creative. And
that's right. So thank you again for stopping by the Clink. This is the Recap show, which airs typically on Tuesdays. And we just recap some of our favorite shows you may have heard about, shows you may not have heard about. And I think the one that we are doing, you probably have not heard about this show.
You haven't heard about it, but if you watch this recap and the ones that we've done before, I believe that you will fall in love with
oh my gosh,
Johnsons, because that's the one that we're doing, the Johnson.
But Johnson, it streams on. It's a Bounce original TV show, so the 4th season is not out yet. I believe it normally comes out in the summertime. So the first 3 seasons, they're only like 22 minutes long or half an hour.
And we love that because it is so action-packed and it keeps your attention instead of you sitting there and be like, well, what happened?
Right. It's a dramedy. It's centered around 4 best friends. They met at elementary school and they all have the same name, Johnson. And they go through, life's ups and downs.
Yeah. I love the fact that it is a positive show about Black men who come together with camaraderie, love, and they are just really real, and they share their emotions about the things that are thinking and the things that are going on in the world around us today. And I think it's very powerful, and more brothers should watch Johnson.
Yes, most definitely. One of the guys who plays on the show, he plays Greg. He's actually the creator and the writer. He wrote every episode.
And his name is Digimon.
We don't know how to pronounce his name, but
we're gonna get it together.
We are. I'm gonna look it up on YouTube. Okay.
Yeah. That's our homework assignment for each episode.
So we come back next week.
Let's know how to pronounce this man's name.
Right. So again, we are going to recap. Johnson is streamed on Hulu and Amazon Prime. And the other shows we recapped, if you want to check that out, is in our playlist. I created a playlist, y'all.
I know, she's doing the thing. Keep us together, girl.
Right. So we did recap P Valley. I think so. I think it's a little something going on, which is holding up production. I heard through the grapevine that something happened. So they have and we recapped all the Queens Men. If you all the Queens and Men, honey. And we have a couple of movie reviews, and we're gonna be bringing more reviews on this on Tuesdays.
Yeah.
So let's get into Johnson.
Let's get into it. Where we're gonna recap episodes 3 and 4 of season 2. And so, honey, it starts off a little
Day
Day.
And we know who that is, y'all. That's Mr.
T.I.
King himself,
Tiny.
Mr. Standing on Business.
Well, at least they found something for him to do with his little
He
self.
look like his mama.
Girl. Kind of like a, okay, I'm going to leave that alone.
Yeah.
Okay, it's King. It's T.I.'s son. He comes on this show as in a cameo role as a rapper called Little Day Day. And as we know, Keith is trying to break into the business of photography, working with huge artists, and he has to start somewhere. So his agent gets him Little Day. So he comes on set to the photo shoot. Of course, he's late, and he starts asking for outrageous things. And the budget's only $500. $500.
He was like, because he won't like, he's like, when he first shows up, he's like, where the yams at? The women. And Keith is like, well, it's a very nice photo shoot there by the train tracks. And he just gonna get like a shot of him by the train tracks, But he want all this.
He's talking about, I want some camels. He's just asking for some crazy stuff. And Keith is just looking like, what in the world?
Keith was like, your budget's $500. What you asking for is more like $50,000.
Right. So anyway, it skips to Caleb in the principal's office for passing an obscene,
inappropriate
note about what he wanted to do with and to a girl.
He growing up
in his class. So he gets suspended for 3 days. And the funny part is Omar is sitting there and he is like really tickled, but Naomi is not.
Right. You know how that is.
Like, what in the world? And he's like, my son.
Right. I know, dad's he's having a proud dad moment.
Yeah, talking about, well, they were in biology class.
And it was funny because Caleb, because like Cam said, he was originally supposed to be suspended for 7 days, but they cut it down to 3 days. So Caleb was like, when they were walking to the car, when he was walking to the car with his parents, he was like, "Can we get that 7 days?"
Right. Like he needs something. But I really am enjoying the banter between Omar and Naomi because they are really building up to being in a good space for their son. So I'm like, okay, they're communicating. Give that little old thing back.
And I did like when Omar was telling Caleb, like for real, son, you need to be more respectful to girls, and I like that because a lot of these men out here are not because they didn't have nobody to tell them.
That's the truth. But I thought it was really cute when he asked his parents for McDonald's.
Right.
And they turned around at the same time. It's like, we don't have no McDonald's money. And that was funny. So I thought that was a really cute little thing for in the writing.
Our parents.
Our generation. Yeah. So Greg is having a moment when a reminder pops up on his iPhone about him
and Serena. It was a picture of them together.
Yeah, it like plays music and memories. Y'all know how I do.
Right. Damn Facebook memories and
I hope they got some money for that because that was a good plug.
It was a good plug.
Okay, so Apple and Facebook and all of y'all, Kitty Johnson's got some money.
Right.
So Greg is getting in his feelings and he decides to pop up over Serena's, and Omar's like, I don't think that's a good idea, but you can't tell a man wants what a man wants.
Now that's a pop-up that that shouldn't be because they are broken up.
And it wasn't anything like they had a conversation about or anything like that. And they were broken up, and it had been some time that had passed because they were broken up.
Right.
Really that long.
If you know, you know. Okay.
So a Caucasian man comes and answers the door, and he was getting his name was Lenny.
Lenny, yes.
Lenny tells him that he's the man of the house now, and he confused Greg for the gardener and starts trying to give him instructions on what she wants done in the yard. But he checked him in a nice way, like I'm not the gardener.
And to be fair, because Omar called Greg before he went over there. Now he told him, he was like, "Do not go over that girl's house. Don't do it." He's like, "Okay, man." He's like, "You about to go, right?" He's like, "You know what?"
But sometimes we have to listen to our friends. When
Yeah.
you try to call a friend first.
But I think that he needed to do that because he now, like he said to Lenny, he was like, I tried, and now I see that I don't want her. She moved on, so
He was lying. He was understanding. He did want her because his feelings was hurt because that man was standing at that door, and he like, dang, she just moved on without me. Yeah, that does happen, brothers. It does happen. It does happen. So anyway, back to the photo shoot. Little Day Day does not have a change of clothes. He doesn't have absolutely anything. And Keith is so irritated.
He's so frustrated.
He calls the agent and he's like, he don't have nothing. What's going on? What do you expect me to do? And then Little Day Day decides.
Hold up before we go there. Remember his right hand man? I don't know who he's supposed to be. His hype man. He was like, we gotta make him a little taller. He was like, get low. Get low and shoot up.
And Keith is tall, so he literally hugging the damn ground. And so little Day Day starts playing with his camera. He's like, "Hey, yo, don't be careful with that
voice. I cannot stand that man's boy, whatever voice.
He's talking about King.
Yes.
Well,
it's so irritating. Maybe one day when that testosterone kicks in, maybe his voice will change. Wait a minute. He's a teenager?
Yeah.
Girl, I thought he was a grown man.
No, he's He's like about 16, 17. He's a child. He's a child. He's a child. He
was like over 18. Okay.
No. So then this little fool drops. Little Day Day drops Keith's camera. After he told him, "Oh, I got hands. I can do this." He drops his camera. And then acts nonchalant about it. He wanted to kick his butt.
He did his livelihood. You know, cameras cost a lot, but he did promise his handler, his manager, whoever, to reimburse him to pay him back.
Yeah, with free concert tickets. We found out later on, but we're gonna leave that alone. So Little Day Day's like, "You got insurance, don't you?" Woo. Okay, so Greg, Jarvis, and Keith are at the bar catching up.
Yeah, I said Greg is drinking his sorrows away because after he went to Serena's and saw that the man, because he was upset about that. That's why he called his boys over and they was drinking and he was saying
he was drinking.
He was drinking.
That was not good. That was not a good look. And the bartender kept telling him to slow down. And Greg and they're like, you need to calm down. But he ignored him. But I like the fact when Omar and Naomi, they went out on a date night. And I love how I just like their interaction. I believe y'all. I really believe y'all. So
I have Caleb is cock blocking by constantly calling.
Every girl. And Omar puts his foot down and he's like, turn your phone off. He's like,
is there?
She got it. So then they reminisce about what she was wearing on their first date, and he tells her every detail.
Ladies, let me talk to you for a minute.
Girlfriends, tell me.
Your guy, your husband, you've been dating for a long time, or you've been married to for a long time, and you ask him, "Baby, do you remember what I had on our first date? What was I wearing?" And he broke it. He breaks it down. Oh, you know he getting the panties that night.
All of them.
Oh, wait, how many panties you have with one night?
You might get a card for tonight, tomorrow night, and the next day, and maybe even might have a free little thing.
Yeah. You remember the small things? Come on, girl.
And he said, he referenced her and said, "Because you look like a chocolate bar." He was like, "How could I forget?" I said, "You better speak. You better say it." Oh, he's so sexy though.
Hey, girl. Oh, y'all, listen. I think I showed it up. I posted it. Omar.
Yeah, she needed to post the whole.
Omar, the guy that played Omar, Thomas Q. Jones.
Hi, Thomas.
I went on his Instagram about a week ago or so. And I was just saying how much I love the show. And he replied back, y'all. I was like, Right.
Oh,
Okay.
so Naomi and Omar, no, that's not it. Not yet. They're dancing. They're having a good time. And the entertainment was fire. I don't know who that was, but he could sing. They have really good entertainment.
The indie artist on this show,
He was
wonderful.
singing.
We need a soundtrack. We need a soundtrack.
So it flashes back to Greg at the bar, and the bartender's like, you're cut off because he's had way too much to drink. And the bartender offers him an Uber, and he was like, I'm not going to get an Uber because I'm an Uber. Well, at least I used to be an Uber because his Uber rights were pulled because of his emissions test or something. In the previous
he was obviously tipsy. He was obviously like his equilibrium was off, but you still let him drive?
Yeah, because he was like that before that he even left, hours before. So she was just getting her money on. Bartenders don't be like that. If you know that somebody is drunk, take their keys or call somebody. But he said he feels great, which is a total lie.
Total lie.
So,
he could totally tell he was not great to be driving.
Yeah. So they show him in the car. He's swerving and falling.
His phone is dozing off at the wheel.
I'm like, oh my God. I was just hoping he didn't get into a head-on collision.
So he's driving, and he just, even when he dozed off, he crashes into a tree.
Yeah.
A stranger who was a woman came in to see if he was okay because he almost hit her. And
she's like, you swerving around like a damn fool. You could have killed me back there. And he was like, I'm so sorry. I'm just going through a hard time right now. And she was like, you stupid, just like my brother. So she feels sorry for him. She feels compassion for him.
She wanted to call the ambulance, but he was like, no.
He was like, no. So he asked her, could he give her
a ride
somewhere?
Yep.
Yeah, because he doesn't want the police to be involved because he knows that behind gonna get that DUI and be hit. So y'all don't drink and drive and be stupid.
Or buzz.
Don't be like Greg.
Right.
Greg hit a tree.
So Omar and Naomi pulled up to the house and they started to make out. They're talking about their night, and then Omar was like, "Remember what we used to do in my car?" And he was like, "We do that now." She's like, "What?" But then she gets into it, and they get in the back seat, and Caleb
hater. Her phone starts ringing, and she's like, "Oh, baby, we on our way home." He's like, "I can see you from up here." So he's looking out the window while they in there trying to get their freak on, because she has Omar totally straddled. They starting to take clothes off. She had hiked that skirt up. They was about to get it out.
Omar said, "Baby, our son is a hater."
He was pissed. He was like, "Man," but my thing is, why didn't y'all pull up in the backyard? It was a whole garage, but we're gonna leave that alone.
Yeah. So what do you think when Greg showed up to Serena's friend's house?
Serena's friend looked a little surprised, but a little happy at the same time. I was a little confused by that at first. I was looking at her like, girl, I understand. I don't know, I didn't, because if that was me, I'd have went to the bathroom like, yo, we over here. He over here. I'm just letting you know.
Right, yeah.
I understand why that didn't happen, because I think if it was me, I'd have been like, I know you don't like him or whatever, but this fool done got in a car accident. I went to the bathroom and said I would have said it. But, I would have let you know, like, I just feel like she should have said something, but she didn't. So Omar, Serena's friend, she lets him in, and then the thing is, when she opened the door to let him in, she kind of looked around like to make sure. I was like, what's that about?
I think she was like kind of like taken aback, like, what you doing here?
Okay, we'll stick with that one. I just was like, So Omar is knocking on Greg's door the next morning.
He is knocked out on the couch.
He doesn't answer, so Omar gets the spare key from under the mat, and he's asleep on the couch. And he sees a Band-Aid on his head, and he's like, I've been calling you because we're supposed to go hooping today, and couldn't nobody get in touch with you?
Yep. So Greg tells Omar that he got hurt due to a fender bender when he left the bar. And Omar said, he said, what, you were driving drunk? He said, you mentioned LaQuisha already. he said, he said, yes. He said, don't say nothing because LaQuisha already scolded me.
He's like, oh, so
He was like, LaQuisha's like, is Serena's friend?
He was like, LaQuisha helped you out. So what else did she do?
Right.
That's all she did. Go ahead, dog. You can tell me. Is that what she did? He's like, no, dog. It wasn't like that. So when he was at her house, he was trying to get some information out of her, and she let him know that Serena was really hurt because she had a high school sweetheart that she was totally in love with, and she was with him for 10 years, and he didn't marry her.
Mm-hmm.
So that kind of helped explain that she had some hurt.
And we get that. It's like, don't waste my time.
10 years.
Well, yeah, because she did say she was in just one other relationship that lasted 10 years. And that's why, she's about her business. She's like, you're not gonna, move forward, then I'm not gonna let you go.
Yeah, she don't want to waste her time again. And he gonna say, oh, well, I guess she'll be married by next month. I was like, well, damn, we are not that desperate.
Right. And I remember he told the bartender, because he was saying to her, was she seeing him the whole time she was seeing me? So the bartender kind of like schooled him. She was like, not necessarily. Like, she could have, had him waiting in the wings, until, because when y'all mess up, like y'all do, man.
Yeah, and that's kind of crazy because I think sometimes men don't ever think like anybody else wants us when they're in a relationship with us. And then you think we just gonna sit around and twiddle our fingers. But sometimes the wrong man need to get out the way so the right man can step up and do what he needs to do.
Say that again for the sister that's listening and who need to hear this.
To the sister in the back of the room. Sometimes the wrong man needs to step out of the way so the right man can step up. And it don't take forever and a day for him to step up. And because when he knows that he got that diamond, he ain't gonna sit up there and be trying to keep on playing and hold it up to the light to see if it's gonna sparkle. He gonna be like, I got a diamond, it's sparkling, it's mine.
D to the I to the A to the L. O to the N to the D to the pearls of love. Okay.
Pearls of love.
Diamond.
Yes. Okay. So, Greg, Keith meets. Oh, I love this part.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay. So anyway, while Omar's there, he does let Greg know that Caleb's school is looking for a maintenance man. And he says he'll hook him up and give him all the information, but he needs to go get cleaned up and get himself together so he can go ahead and get that gig.
Mm-hmm.
But this is the part that I love. Keith meets, what's her name?
Jackie.
Keith meets Jackie at the park
for a date. That's one of my favorite dates. Like
it was so
a lunch in the park. I don't want to say picnic because that has negative connotations, but y'all it is a picnic. Like come on now. I don't want to bore you with my trouble. That's the right word?
Yeah.
There's something about your love that makes me weak and knocks me off my feet. Girl, come on now.
Don't you play. Okay, so Keith meets Jackie at the park, and she has everything all set for them. She asked him, did he bring the wine? And he
brought that Earl, y'all. I love that Earl Stevens. Gets you right every time.
Nice percentage of alcohol.
Yes, it is 13%. I know.
Oh, they used to be beer. Okay, girl. Woo, warm and fuzzy inside. But the thing I like is I just like their banter back and forth, and they start people watching, and she like, oh, that's his side piece. That ain't his woman. It was just really cute, and they both confessed they wear their hearts on their sleeve, and he was like started putting himself down, and she looked down. She was like, I think that an emotional, available man is sexy.
Yeah,
I said, oh, Jackie.
Yeah, because he told Jackie, he said nowadays women play the game better than a man, and Jackie said it sounds personal. He said, yeah, let's just say wear my heart on my sleeve, and she said, and then Jackie said, Jackie guessed that Keith was the only child raised by his mom, single mom. And she said that most emotionally available men are raised by single mothers. And he said he had to disagree with that. He said because most men who have a strong father figure, they're able to balance the emotion with the logic.
That's true, but not true because it all depends on the man.
Exactly.
But she said that was a turn off.
And it's a turn on for me too. A man that has emotional intelligence, a high percentage of emotional intelligence.
That can be open. That can be in touch with his feelings. Because a lot of times men
and yours,
they feel a lot of men feel like they have to hide because men and women got to get in the right relationships with the right people to know who they can and cannot be vulnerable in front and with.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think a lot of times we're vulnerable with the wrong people. And then, we get all messed up. And then when the next person comes that we can trust with our feelings, we don't trust them because we all scarred up and beat up. Okay. But anyway.
And this is what he said. I really like to. He said by him being emotionally available, that really hasn't worked out for him with women lately. And that's when Jackie said, what's the turn on for me? And I said, me too, girl. Me too.
I love Jackie. She got her ish together and she is a strong sister. Okay. So Greg goes to the school to speak with the principal.
To speak with Levita.
Loca. Oh, he goes
Terry Vaughn.
Yeah, to speak with the principal. And what's her name is Miss
I forget her name.
I had wrote it down, but anyway, it's probably in my notes later on. But she sees that he has a degree in tech, and so she gives him a chance. And he says, she liked Mr. Johnston. You could tell she kind of liked him by the way she was looking at him. I said, okay, are you married or something? Because girl, you looking real hard. But she gave him a chance. I thought that was sweet. And that's what we got to do for our brothers and sisters, give each other chances and opportunities.
Well, I did.
But the funny part is when he said to her, she said, well, you can get started. He said, today? She was like, yeah, today. Like, yeah.
Let me test you out. Like, we have a light that's is broken in one of the classrooms. So that was like his initiation to see if he will have a job or
to
not.
See if he could change the light bulb, basically.
The fluorescent.
Yes. Bulb. Okay, so then it flashes to Omar being in the meeting with his partner, with the investors for his app. So Omar's partner's name is Tyler, and they've been working on this app for 7 years. And so they're meeting with some investors who are interested in their
they're very
app.
interested.
And Omar and Tyler and the investors come to an agreement, and they make the reference to just as long as the paperwork.
Yeah, the background check and the credit score check.
Yeah. And then it flashes back to Greg. He went to YouTube University to figure out how to get that light bulb changed.
Oh my God! It was playing. He had it in his pocket. We don't know her name right now. We'll have it. But Levita came in, and
we gonna call her Levita. Your name gonna be Levita.
Your last character. Your name is your last character.
Forever.
And he had the how-to video playing in his pocket, and she heard it. I was like, oh my God. But it worked in his favor.
It worked in his favor because it went to show. I think that showed humility, like you know.
And it shows she really need to hire somebody.
And he willing to do whatever it had to take to get that job. So they both.
And it didn't help that she was kind of sweet on him too.
Yeah, she kind of was looking with that little smirk on her face. I said, okay, so Greg went to YouTube University and he figured out that light situation. And she was like, if he could fix that, I wonder what else he can fix. Anyway. So Unc and what's your jig talk? What's his name? Booker.
Yeah.
Unc and Booker. So Booker tells Unc that he's going to the motherland.
Yeah. They were reminiscing about their younger days and stuff.
Yeah, but Unc like, before you go, can you give me that money you owe? You know you owe me.
Right. And then Booker tells Eugene that Sherry might be the one. That's the one that called in.
He only been dating for 5 minutes.
Right. Like she the one. And he said he want to take her, right?
He said they are going to Africa. to the Muslims because he found out through what was that genealogy thing that he's part Nigerian. Oh my God! But yeah, that was cute. So Omar comes and he says, no, they come in with Kevin. Yeah, and they say that he's and Kevin comes.
And Jarvis introduced Kevin to Eugene and Booker. Eugene asked Kevin what type of drink did he want at the tournament. And he said he just want to know because he likes to make everybody's drink of choice there. And Kevin was like, "Oh, I don't drink when I play.
Man, I drink tea, unsweetened." And so, Eugene was not happy. He was like, yeah, because, part of playing poker, they want you to get a little tipsy. So your mind is a little cloudy. So you're not, he don't want nobody there as focused. So that goes to show you.
Exactly. He already on some
that Eugene probably be drinking juice the whole time and everybody else be drunk so he can have the upper hand. I said, oh. But I really did like the part where Kevin said that I'm learning a lot from Jervis because it's like he is opening up his mind to learn because he knows that he was wrong in the things that he did. So even though he was acting like a bigot because that's what his father was, I think that situation and him getting fired, that separation from his father is showing him that, he was an ass and he doesn't want to be that way. So I thought that was kind of cool.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I'm being positive. I think it was kind of cool for right now. This part of the story.
Sure.
Yeah. Sure. So anyway, Eugene gets irritated and he declines. He does not want Kevin to attend their thing. He's like, I want him in my house. Yeah. He's like,
but he can read people. He read them pretty well. He was spot on.
Yeah,
spot on.
So Danny is sitting there with her other fight the power people.
Wait, hold up. One thing about that. So Omar asked Eugene like, why what's up with that with Kevin, and he said he doesn't trust a man who doesn't drink. He screams like he's a professional because professionals don't drink, and we know that he's a semi.
Their mind get clouded.
Even we know that Kevin was a semi pro professional, and so he said he said he just didn't, he don't trust him. He said because he's still. I'm like, that was deep. He still had on his poker face even in the little introduction.
So basically, he mad because he couldn't read him.
No, he's mad. No. He like I said, he called it because he said that Kevin was not being himself, and he can see that he wasn't.
Because Kevin is about that money. Kevin know how to play that.
He know that he's no good. Put it that way.
Yeah, but Kevin about that money. Kevin can play poker, and he probably could beat him. He just like,
no. Oh yeah, you know he could beat him.
He like you ain't gonna take my money.
Okay.
So okay, back to Danny. We love Danny.
I love Danny.
She up there with her fight the power. I was like, you better. And she's telling her other people, she's like, this is how we can organize, how we can make this movement go better. And the lady is like, you need somebody to walk you home. And she's like, no, she pull out her taste. And she's like, I got stuff. She's like, I ain't worried about nothing.
Yeah.
And I got it and I ain't afraid to use it. So I thought it was cute that she's in her bag of organizing and making plans to be more effective in the cause.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So Danny walks home. She goes home. I'm like, okay. For her to be a temp, she had a nice ass house.
Girl, it ain't how much money you make. It's how what you do with the money.
Okay, we're back, y'all. Okay.
So we're back to Danny.
So Danny hears a noise. She's at home. She hears a noise. And it ended up being somebody, this white man in her house.
Girl, when she turned around and that fool was standing there with a girl, I got scared. I was like, whoa, that was a good shot. Cinematographer. Okay. She sees a white man in a hoodie. So she runs to the bathroom like herself with the taser in her hand. She didn't even use the taser. I was like, girl, but better safe than sorry. Fight or flight. Right. Better to get behind that door. So she locks herself in the bathroom and she calls Jarvis.
Okay, and then we have Yeah, I already said that part, huh?
Uh-huh.
Okay, so Jarvis comes to Danny's
He like I'm
house.
on my way. He's
Yeah.
speeding to get there. I was like, oh, I was like, okay. So then it flashes back to Omar, right? Yeah, it flashes back to Omar, and he's inviting
Right, no, we already said that part of the poker thing because when Jarvis comes to Danny's house, she sees like 2 feet prints, and she don't know it's Jarvis on the other side, so she opens it up
with the taser.
About the taser. He's like, Danny, it's me, and then, he's like holding her a little bit, and then her face is black.
Yeah, he like you keep they leave together. We know that part.
Made a fool of me.
Well, only thing I got to say is, sisters, keep your man close because when you have a good man, it's always somebody in this situation. It's not even intentional. He is just being down for a person who's being down for him. He being a friend to a person who's being a friend to him. So when you somebody's wife or significant other, don't make him feel like he can't talk to you or he can't trust you. Because if he can't, he gonna
be there for him.
Gonna go talk to somebody.
Be there for him because his wife, she wasn't, and that was life changing for him because I'm totally sure that was the first time something like that ever happened to him.
Yeah, and also women, we have to be vulnerable enough to let a man be there for us as well because Danny she ain't playing no games, but she is like help. I need help, and men want to be men for their women, especially a black woman. Yeah.
So y'all, so that was the end of episode 4. So we'll be back next week to give you episodes 5 and 6.
Yes.
And now that you've seen us, go ahead and hit that like,
subscribe.
We want you to comment and subscribe.
Tell us what you think.
Because the lights are doing this thing because we are getting discovered more in the algorithm. We're starting to climb that ladder. So if you don't do anything else, just like and subscribe.
And share with your friends, share with your friends, share with your coworkers, share with your church folks.
Yes, everybody. And tune in on Thursdays when we do our sip and chats and where we talk about just life issues and go ahead and check us out there.
Okay. So until next time, thank you for joining us for
Clink.
Bye.